everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is starting 11 prediction time. Liverpool taking on Newcastle United at St James's Park, 12:30 Saturday. Get up early-ish, watch the game. I'm here to predict the team that Jurgen Klopp, who has extended his contract according to reports, or is very close to the official confirmation at Liverpool Football Club, will pick for this. I think I've made my mind up, but I need your help. I think there's 2-3 positions that I'm not quite sure of, so we'll do this together. Get yourself in the comments if I do something that you don't agree with, if you want to suggest something else. If you think I've been completely daft and a bit of an idiot, be nice about it in the comments. So, I won't do the Adrian gag again, for those that you were here for that, because, you know, it can be a bit old. Alisson Becker obviously got the night off against Villarreal, or more or less, because he didn't have to do, I don't think he did anything at all during that game. So obviously he stays because he's the best goalkeeper in the world. He's absolutely beautiful, and he had the night off, as I said. This one I'm not sure of because I'm in two minds. I think Andy Robertson, if there's any game that you need to rest or you can afford to rotate, I think it is this one. But obviously Tsimikas was ill. He was on the bench. Did look ill, but he always looks ill, or at least tired. But I think if he's fit, and I think if he's fine, for me, I think he starts this one. And then you look to use Robbo, Villarreal, Spurs, etc. So we'll come back to this in a second. If you don't agree, it's completely fine. Virgil van Dijk, centre half. I think Joel Matip comes back in for this one. And this is for a few reasons. Obviously, it was Van Dijk, Konate against Villarreal. I think Joel Matip plays because he got a rest. And I also think you play Konate maybe against Spurs with our high line, the pace that Spurs have got with the likes of Son, Kane, I know he's not the fastest, Lucas Moura. Players that are in their side, I think we can use Konate in that one. Just so when we do play a high line, we've got people to go and defend them. What's up, Barry? You can shut the door if you want to. No, that's completely fine, Barry. Oh, yeah, people don't want to hear what Ned's talking about. People don't care about Ned. They care about Ped, though. Brilliant. Live stream. Thank you. Right, okay. Trent Alexander-Arnold keeps his place at right back. Sorry about that. It was just Toffee TV lads coming to say hello. This is the next bit where I'm stuck on. Fabinho, I think, keeps his place. I thought he was immense against Villarreal. I think he stays in for this one. And maybe he looks to be one of your first substitutions, depending on how the game's going. Midfield, I want to keep Jordan Henderson in there, mainly because I think you can exploit Trent going up to the right-hand side. In fact, it was quite good against Villarreal. We started to see Trent one or two times. I think it led to a chance. Actually, Trent was picking up like a number 10 position almost on the inside just to do something different against a low block side. And then Jordan Henderson can kind of fill that gap. It was also interesting. I've literally just done on Redmen Plus an Oppo preview with Newcastle Chronicles chief Newcastle Football Club writer, and he says he thinks Newcastle will go toe-to-toe with Liverpool, so it'll be a really interesting game if they do approach it like that. But I think this is the side that will be dangerous to go toe-to-toe against, and obviously our fullbacks are crucial to what we do, and so is this man as well. Naby Keita, I think he deserves a start in this one. We're starting to see the best form of Naby Keita, and I think that's for a few reasons. First and foremost, we've got depth in midfield. We're not using him every single game. He's able to train properly. He's able to rest one, come back in and be effective. Thiago has played a lot of football. Surprisingly, a lot of football. He always seems to play 90 minutes in most of those games as well. So I think Naby comes in for this one. And this is the other bit where I'm really stuck, because I'm tempted to go Mane, Salah, Diaz, because I think on form, you could argue that is our best three, our most exciting three. But in the back of my mind, I'm also cautious of we just played last night at time of recording. We have a rest day, which will be Thursday, which is today. Then we'll train on the Friday, then we'll play again. And then we play the Tuesday after. So it's all about getting the best from the squad. And I think this is what Jurgen might have in mind as well whilst he's celebrating. So I'm going to go Mane on the left. Diogo Jota, I think, starts up top. And Mohamed Salah, I think, keeps his place there. The bench, I think, more or less picks itself. Maybe you could argue one or two players. Obviously, we can name 9 substitutes. Kelleher, Konate, I think, dead cert. Thiago, Andy Robbo, Luis Diaz, Divock Origi I've put on the bench because he likes to go against Newcastle, does Divock. Joe Gomez, Harvey Elliott, which I know we played some under-23s earlier this week, so maybe he's been primed for this one, I don't know, or he's a substitute appearance. And then I think I was stuck between Bobby Firmino and Curtis Jones, who again was also ill during the Villarreal game, but hopefully it's nothing too serious. I think they cleared up and said it wasn't COVID, it was just something that's a book that's going around at the minute. Yoda Jonas says Costas has to start if he's fit and Robert deserves a rest. I've got that one. People just smile about Jurgen. Ben Pescott said Matip, Keita, Jota in for Canate, Thiago and Diaz. It's exactly what I've just done. I'm going to move this back because I'm really close to the camera. Gomez for Trent is an interesting shout as well, and this is the difficulty that I've got. And I don't think... I was surprised at the Everton game because I thought we'd see a lot more change and a lot more rotation, but I'm inclined to think we'll see a lot less. Maybe more so for this one, but you don't want to make too many changes to lose rhythm and momentum, which I think is really important. But I think this way you get the best out of everything. But, you know, I don't see any reason that you could argue against that. You could put Joe Gomez in at right back. I think his performances at right back have maybe surprised a few people. I don't think he's necessarily done anything wrong. I was there against Watford. I think there was a game after that where he played a part in there as well. So this is the beauty of the squad that we have right now. If Gomez wants to, it gets picked there. Not surprised, not annoyed. Perfectly happy with that as well. Liverpool FC Reds said, is Costas fit? Don't know. He is for this. And again, FC Red said, would like to see either Fab or Thiago to rest, probably Thiago. Yeah, I think that's the point where I'm at. And if you play for Fabinho, again, as I said before, maybe he's your first substitution, maybe Mane's your second one, and maybe Henderson or Trent is probably your third. I'm going to put Trent back in a second. Wasn't Costas ill? Yeah, I've just done this. If he is not ill anymore, then he's in there for me. Beyond says, team looks great, Ross. I agree about Costas starting. Bless my soul, Costas is on a roll. Person of the week in every Greek opinion poll. What a pro. I can't believe I just read that out. So yeah, Yoda says, since Trent went and got subbed, he'll probably play and maybe get subbed off for Gomez. Yeah, that's a really important point. Actually, I think that maybe the substitutions against Villarreal might give us a clear indication of who is to come off in this game. Sadio Mane was one of those, so I think he definitely starts. And he came off, and he was also very annoyed, which actually I quite like. It's just a question of maybe mix things up, and maybe this is even during the game. I don't think it'll necessarily be this the whole way through. We've seen Jota the recent weeks go out to the left-hand side. Mane's been much more of a number 9. Completely fine with that. Are there any other outside shouts that maybe I've missed? I think particularly in midfield. Harvey Elliott, I don't think he'll start. He's not played a lot of football. Curtis Jones is probably the same. Again, he was ill against Villarreal. Does Canate deserve to keep his place? Does Diaz deserve to start this one as well? Or even Divock Origi? Let me know in the comments as I read some more now. Ben again says the only other change I would make for this is Jones in for Fabinho and Hendo in the 6. Again, so we'll try that. Hendo in there, Fabinho, even though he was bloody brilliant. Even we'll put it in, Jones. There we go. I did listen to you, read your comment properly. Yeah, again, it could be another possibility and nothing that you really have to do with. Again, it's about that balance of if there was a third or a fourth goal against Villarreal, I think this decision would be a lot easier. But again, every game that we go into now and has been for weeks is so important. The fact we're playing before Manchester City, you want to put, for me, your fittest, strongest possible squad out for this one, get the win, and then, you know, if you find yourself in a position where you're a couple of goals up, then you start peeling it back and say, like, Mane, you could have a rest. We need your Villarreal again on Tuesday. Henderson, Fabinho, Trent. Ferdinand says Ox still doesn't make the bench. Do you know what? Ox was someone that I did consider, even though he's on the floor, and maybe even James Milner as well. The problem that I've got, not with Ox, but the problem with picking Ox that I've got is, again, recent weeks we haven't seen him. I know he played the game. Notts Forest, he played that game, got substituted, and he looked a bit pissed off again. You know, I think he came off and he's like, I've only played an hour or 70 minutes or whatever it was. He looked annoyed. I think there's been opportunities and there's been games. Whether he's fit enough is a question. I just don't see him starting games of football between now and the end of the season. It's not me having an issue with him. I just think from what we've seen and what we're going into, I just don't see where he starts, particularly when you've got the forward navigator, Thiago, Henderson, Fabinho, all these players that are kind of taking his place and taking his minutes. Could be a surprise. You know, Jurgen has been known to do stranger things in games of football. You know, particularly maybe if you want to rest one of the front three, you know, he wants to put one on the left-hand side. I can't see it happening, but there's an option there. James Milner, again, someone else not played loads of football in recent weeks, could argue. Taki, we haven't seen much of him either. But I think the Everton game is giving an indication that Klopp will go as strong as possible when he can. So, yeah. Genie20 said, hey, Ross, did you hear the good news? Yeah, I have tweeted a lot about it over the Redmen account. It's a really good day, isn't it? In fact, so much so, every few seconds is going, Jurgen's staying. Jurgen's not leaving. It's a good day. And Joe, who's done the 1s and 2s, just wants to know how much he's getting paid. So if you know that in the comments, please do let him know and tag him in. Yuri again says, why is it we get an early kick-off on Saturday when City played a day before us and has a late kick-off time? Because the people are in charge are stupid. Blythebird, Jones doesn't play well as a right centre mid. Go strong again. Changes on 60. Ali, Trent, Matip, Robbo. Okay, Costas versus Villarreal for the second leg. Fabinho, Hendo, Naby. Fabinho, Hendo, Naby. I think that's what I'm going to go back to actually, because I think that's what Jurgen will pick. Fabinho, Hendo, Naby. Yeah, but I'm going to leave Costas up there for now. Jota, Sadio, and Salah, which is what I've got. So I think we're agreed on that one. Joe, how much Jurgen? Can see Gomez at right back, possibly Jones starting midfield. Villarreal away on Tuesday. May look to rotate, bring on players after 60 minutes. Again, this is the impossible task of trying to predict what Jurgen Klopp will do. But, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Great, I'm good at maths. It's all good. I think that's what Jurgen will do. I think you've got 1, 2, 3 changes. I think that's what we started to see over the past few weeks. Maybe see a fourth, again, depending on fitness, depending if Tsimikas is fit. Obviously, Jurgen will do his presser at some point tomorrow, which we'll have on the website for you guys as well for free. If he's there, I think it makes that decision a whole lot easier. Joel Matip, I think he's dead set, obviously having the Villarreal night off. And I think, as I said, Canate will start against Spurs. So, yeah, I think I'm fairly happy with that. If, again, you don't agree, if there are other suggestions, if it turns out that I've done this and then someone else is injured or not fit, fingers crossed that not, fingers crossed everyone is fine. Bobby Firmino was the other person that I could put on the bench, but I just don't think that we'll see him. He wasn't on the bench at all, was he, for against Villarreal? So maybe just keep him back as much as you can and then save him for when you do need him. Divock Origi's in good form as well. In fact, even Divock Origi started this game. I don't think any of us would have an issue. Yeah, it's a good time to be a Red. What you need to do is all just come and celebrate together that Jurgen signed a new contract and be happy. Maybe that's another little catalyst for the end of the season. So, yeah, as I said, if you don't agree with anything that I've done, you think it'll be slightly different. Genie20 saying Costas isn't fit. That's not confirmed yet. I know he was ill last night, but he might be okay for this one. So if he's not, then Robert's in place, it's fine. Yeah, keep your comments and thoughts coming. We'll have you covered for the whole game. It's Paul and Chris will be on the Team News show. It'll be about 11:15 on Saturday. Team News will come out at 30:30 and I'll be here for the watch along and all your post-match content as well. Yeah, so thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Make sure if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you haven't liked the stream, please do. Yeah, give it a massive like for Jurgen, signing a new contract, and we'll see you soon. Ta-ra.
Thank you so much for watching the video. Do drop a like on it if you enjoyed it. And if you want to see Redmen TV live and in the flesh, we are supporting the Ragamuffins here at Hotel Anfield in the footprint of their Anfield Stadium. It is going to be the huge, massive, mega end of season party the evening before the final league game of the season. Come and party with us. Link in the description and the tickets are on Skiddle if you just want to search us up. But yeah, go have a bevy, have a sing-song and you can join in with us in what's going to be the biggest party in the history of the world.